Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta. And hello, everybody. So nice to see you again for another one of our chats.
Yes.
We love it, love it, love it. And the weather is not too bad today where I am. How about your weather over there in Fremont?
Beautiful, beautiful, sunshiny.
Beautiful.
No wind.
No wind. We have a little bit of breeze, but it's like 80 degrees. That's what it's saying.
Yeah, it's 6 here and no wind.
Oh, wow. Nice, nice, nice. All right. You know the drill. Before we get going, we're going to ask you to like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our videos. Okay. Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. And I'm going to talk about my tea today, and it's a good one. It's from a company called Sipology, and it's called Don't Worry, Be Happy. Don't worry, be happy. That's all I'm going to sing.
Don't be happy.
And the ingredients are chamomile, peppermint leaves, and surprise, surprise, licorice root. So I have it. It's loose leaf tea. So I put it in my steeper. Here you go. Put it on top of the top, and it's going to drain it. Oh, you can't see it now. There you go.
There we go. Draining. Woo. That is so cool. I have got to order one of those. I forget it until I see you and I go,
there you go. Well, you're going to have to, I'm going to have to remind you to do that. I don't even have a, okay.
Yes.
All right. So that's mine. And what about yours, Gloria?
Cheers.
Oh, I forgot to do cheers. I was just asking you. Cheers, everyone. Forgot this time. Okay. And I put some stevia leaves in there.
Oh, okay. Well, see, like you, I also did something a little different because I'm just like, oh, I'm so tired of the same old, same old. I want something different. And yet when I go to the store, they just have what I already have. So I decided to combo. So I have my beautiful, there you can see the boxes. I can't get them to do it at the same time. So the first, Juicy Lemon by Lloyd's. You know, I love lemon. And the ingredients are, let's see, we have rooibos, we have green tea, we have flavoring, then we have lemon peel, apple, ginger, lemongrass, black pepper, which Rosetta taught us about, dried honey powder, and I also wanted some blueberry, so I mixed a bag of the Radiant Beauty as your beauty girl. And this one is aloe vera, acelera, rosehip, elderberry, and blueberry. Makes it amazing. So it's a combination. It's sort of like lemonade with, you know, like in the summer when you take and you make lemonade and then you put fresh fruit in it. So it's like lemonade with fresh blueberries.
Yes. Lemon flavored lemonade. Cheers, everyone. Again, cheers. It's delicious, all this tea. Even though the weather's hot, I'm drinking tea. It still tastes great.
Well, it's hot, but it hasn't, I mean, what it normally feels like when it's 80, we're not there yet.
So yeah, we're not inside like sweating away.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, you know, we always like to kick off our chats with our girl, Ellen. You know, we love her very much. Ellen always reminds us to be kind to one another and to listen to one another. Rosetta and I want everyone to just take a pause, take a minute and listen to one another. If we listen to each other, we can make the world a better place for everyone, all of us. Okay. So first, I wanted to pay homage to a person that I truly, truly love and miss. Luthur Vandross would have been 70 last week. And I love me some Luthur Vandross. I like the plump version of Luthur and the skinny version of Luthur. As long as Luthur was singing and he did that, I was
oh gosh, that brings back memories. I loved it. Oh my goodness. And I always think about him because I'm always thinking, what would have become of him had he not passed away at such a young age? He
Yes.
did amazing, he wrote amazing songs. And it's
Yes.
such a shame that he passed away from diabetes, from all that yo-yoing because of the
Yes.
weight
Yo,
and
yo.
everything. And
Yes.
doctors really didn't know how to treat him that well. But Luthur, we miss you. And yeah, now we're
Yeah.
talking about this. I'm going to go back and I'm going to listen to some of his oldies, his old songs, because I used to
Yeah.
have his, remember the tapes? I used to have his tapes.
Yes. I have, okay, I'm really old school. I have his album. I have his cassette tape. I have the CD tapes. I
Wow.
have it all. And I think of all the songs he did, my favorite was A House Is Not a Home.
A house
Because
is, yeah.
a house is not a home.
Wow, that's one of my top ones. And the other one I can remember, I'm not going to sing it, but I'm trying to remember what the name was.
Little more. I didn't get it. A little more.
You've got to be loved. Is that the one? You've got to be loved. Reach for the stars.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
Do you remember that one? I don't know the title of that one, but that's one of my favorite. Well, I say it's one of my favorites. I don't even know the title of the song.
It doesn't matter that you don't know the title. You know it's a Luthur song, and you know.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yes, he did some amazing, amazing music. So we miss you. We miss authentic music. I do. And I am, I was thinking when you said that about if he had lived, he would have been an amazing coach or judge on either American Idol or Voice.
Now you're saying that and I'm getting upset because we can't have him. And he would have been really, really good. Yes.
Really?
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine? He could have been a judge on American Idol.
Yes.
As amazing as he is, oh wow. And a mentor on The Voice. Yeah.
Yes. And I think if he had been on American Idol, Ruben Stutter's career would have been completely different than whatever is going on with him now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. He did really well for a while.
Yeah, he has a great voice. He even did a stint on Biggest Loser, and they tried to help him lose weight, and he was like either the first or second person to go home.
Wow, wow. There was another American Idol that was on The Biggest Loser, Kimberly someone.
Oh, okay.
I forget her last name, but she was on there as well, and she did lose a lot of weight.
Yeah. Well, Luthur, we love you, baby.
Happy birthday, Luthur, up in heaven, and we're still thinking of you, and we still love you.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So since we're talking about Luthur, Luthur was the flamboyant performer. I saw him at, what is that thing called? Shoreline. And I felt like I was in a grand place because they had beautiful stairs and all of that. That reminds me and leads me right into the Oscars. So what did you think? The one thing I'll kick it off with, and then we'll just kind of talk. Regina King, that dress, that Louis Vuitton dress was spectacular. And her walk and everything. She almost fell off the stage, but everything up until that point was so elegant. I loved it. So what did you think?
I thought she looked amazing in that dress. They could have done, the walk was okay. I just thought that it was a bit boring. They could have done something different instead of panning in and watching her walk up the stairs.
Right.
Stairs. But other than that, I'm not sure what could have been done, but maybe, I don't know, maybe had someone else with her or something. I don't know, but she did an amazing job. And that, yes, you're right. That dress, I actually commented and said, that dress looks so good on her. She probably is the only one that could have pulled that dress off because it looks so stunning on her.
It was amazing. Amazing. I also loved, I've gotten some pushback from friends that didn't like what Glenn Close was wearing. It was her eighth. She's like the Susan Lucci. It was her 8th time of being nominated for an Oscar, and she didn't win. However, I think she stole the show when she did the dance, the butt, doing the butt. I mean, and she was just wiggling. And I think she caught people off guard because she knew the and I don't know if it was like on the inside story where they told her, this is the name of the song, this is the producer, the writer, because she was like quoting it like she knew it personal.
She
And
probably did know it.
and then when he said to her, do you know the dance? And she's like, of course I do. And he's like, well, do it. And she did the butt. I like that part too.
So I was like cracking up because I'm like, really? So I really liked that part. And I loved that this year there were what's No Man Land won for Best Picture. But I was shocked because
Yes.
usually they announce the best actor and then they announce the actress and then they do the best picture. They did it in reverse.
They reformulated that whole process. And I think the reason they did it is because the shocker was who we thought was going to be best actor was not. Sir Anthony was best actor. Now, I haven't seen the movie, The Father.
No.
However, I understand. I talked to some friends and I'm like, okay, we all know the quality of, Chadwick's talent from Black Panther. I haven't seen Ma Rainey's. I haven't seen that movie either.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yes, Ma Rainey's. Yes, Black Bottom. I haven't seen that one either. So for me, it was just, it was almost like a foregone conclusion that he was going to win. And so no one thought about it. Sir Anthony didn't even come to America in case he won because he was like, he's passed away. It's not like he can win another one. So he's like, I'm good with that. However, my understanding is that his performance in The Father, he is throughout the movie, whereas the other movie is sort of like Olivia, not Olivia, what is her name? The actress, the singer.
Yes, I know the actress you're talking about.
It was more about her singing and her life than it was him and his character. Whereas Sir Anthony, it was all about the father, and it has to do with Alzheimer. And this lady, we were listening to a sort of like a podcast, and she said, if you watch both movies, you'll know why he won the Oscar.
Okay.
Because the last 15 minutes of the movie is going to gut you. And she said his performance builds throughout the movie. And by the time it gets to the crescendo, you were just so overwhelmed and filled with emotion. She says he does a great job. So I'm going to go with that because I know, his wife probably had a beautiful speech. However, I think we have to get to the point where it's just about the excellence. So of course, Monday morning, they started with the Oscars, white Oscars, the Oscars only vote white and all of that. And my girl, her and her team, Song of the Year, she's got an Oscar. I'm like, okay, Grammy, Oscar, keep on going, girl. You might become an EGOT yet. You never know.
Oh, I love her. And what she wore was spectacular.
Stunning.
That was so nice. Yeah.
Yes, even in her performance, of the song. And I really like the song. I like when I heard the title of that movie, I was like, I don't know if I really want to get into it. We're going through so much right now.
Right.
All lives matter, come on. And then I found out that this was about a guy who was like an underground, FBI informant that nobody knew about. But yet, if you look at what the story entails and how we get to learn about some of the things that the Black Panthers did, I remember hearing how the Black Panthers had a program where every child got breakfast. They made sure that the community that they lived in Oakland, everyone had access to healthcare, free healthcare, free breakfasts. So I'm like, if they could do that back then, there's got to be a way that we can improve on what we're doing today to help our communities.
Wow, I did not know that. Spectacular. So I want to watch these movies. Where do we watch them? On Netflix, or is it only in the movies, or?
Well, of course, with things moving forward, they're saying we'll be able to see them in the movie. The woman that won Best Actress, I really love her. I think her first name is Frances.
McDormand.
She is unapologetic who she is. She doesn't fluff the dresses. She doesn't fluff the hair. She doesn't fluff the makeup. She's like, what you see is what you get. And when she howled, when they won for Best Picture, I was just like, this is so cute. And even the director for Best Picture, I mean, the first woman of color director, you know, and she said, I know who I am, my authentic self.
Yeah,
And
Chloe Zhao, the Asian lady, and she also won Best Director. Oh yeah, that's what she won for, and then the film got that.
yes,
Yeah, you're right. Yes, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
I was too.
Yeah,
So,
that was
you know,
nice.
you have to be half naked. Hear me, girls. You don't have to be half naked. Regina was very respectful. She looked good.
She looked classy. I liked what she wore. And I really loved the fact that Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, they won 2 awards as well for costume design by Anne
Yes,
Roth, and also makeup and hairstyling, which is good.
yes,
I'm glad. And they were so happy when they got up, the costume design, the 2 ladies, they got up and said, we've paved the way.
yeah. I love that because they really want women to know that this is not the one and only. This is just the first one of many, many to come. So I really love that.
Yes, yeah, yeah. But you know what I wished? I mean, it's sad that it was during pandemic, but I wish like in the past pre-pandemic,
I know what you mean.
they used to have, do you remember they used to do like feature the songs from the movies, and they would
Yes.
have performances by people. So I'm not sure why they didn't do that, because they could have been social distance still performing.
Well, they did them. They just pre-recorded them because they showed them in the as part of the like it what I agree. What you and I loved is when they would be on the stage at the
Yes,
event live.
yes,
They
yes.
and did the songs. The other thing that they didn't do this year is the cutaways. So they would say, best actor nomination is, let me see, who would I say? Well, we'll say Chadwick Boseman. And they would cut and show you some of the film. And sometimes the cuts from each category were a little different. So you could say, oh, you know what? I think I want to go see that movie. They
Right, they
did.
didn't do that. They didn't.
No,
So they changed it up. And the other thing they changed up was when they did In Memorandum. They did it at one part because they were trying to match it to the music. There was a part where the music went quite fast, and they were
yes.
like fast forwarding all the people. And I'm like, I don't have enough time to read exactly who they are and what they did, and that was too fast.
Yeah, I had to pause and rewind and slow it down because we lost a lot of people in the industry. I mean, it initially when I saw where they started, I thought, oh, well, it's not that many. And then, like you said, sometimes they'd even have multiples on a single page.
Yeah. So it was, I wish they would have slowed it down. And then at the end, obviously at the end, they did Chadwick Boseman, which was nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But some things change. Next year, it's going to be live. It's going to go
Yes.
back to normal.
Yes. So,
I already see it. I foresee it. That's what's going to happen.
yes. I also, like you and I constantly are talking, I want to get to a point where our young women don't have to show as much skin as they show to be beautiful. It's not about the amount of skin. I was looking at the beautiful yellow dress that Zendaya had on, and she looked amazing. And I thought to myself, would it have been so awful if her midriff had been clothed? You know, it was already strapless, and then the midriff was missing. And I was just looking at that, and the young lady that plays Billie Holiday,
Andre Day.
yes, she is such a beautiful woman, and one side of the dress was really pretty, and it was a Vera Wang. I mean, it was no slouch, it was a Vera Wang. And then she turned to the other side, and you could kind of see a little bit of her buttocks hanging out. And I thought, would it have ruined the dress if it was 2 or 3 inches longer?
Yeah, I don't understand why. What were they trying, or what was she trying to, what impression was she trying to make? I don't understand.
Right. Right. You know, like we've talked many times, even like in the Grammys, you know, we're like, why does everything, you know, my grandmother, bless her heart, she used to always tell me, you know, you got to leave them wondering, baby. Because, you know, we would have those little those little Catholic girl outfits with those plaid skirts, the little blue blazers and the white top. And we would, you know, we would leave and the skirts would be like mid calf, you know, way under the knees. And we would get on the school bus and we start rolling our skirts up. And she kept telling us, she said, if you show them what you got, there's no interest to find out.
Exactly, exactly.
And I think somehow the young ladies, because I mean, unless the reason, it's almost as if someone has said to them, you're not really talented, you're beautiful, and we can auto-tune your voice, and with your beauty you can pull it off and you can have a great career. However, if you can sing, don't do that. Don't let them modify you to where you're just, you know, people are so enamored in what you're wearing that they're not really listening to what you're saying.
You don't need to flaunt it for people to give you respect, people. That's what I'm saying. And that's what Gloria is trying to say. You are, like she said, you can sing, so don't worry about it. You can act, don't worry about it. You don't have to. I don't know the reason behind it. Please let us know. If you know,
Yes,
put it in the comments why you have to dress like that. I understand people want to, I know some women, they want to feel kind of like sexy and everything, but sometimes it's a bit too much, right?
Yes. I mean, you can cover up and still be sexy.
You can cover up, but do you remember when J-Lo stepped out with P. Diddy with that dress? That was the first time we saw that whole gaping in the front. But that was actually, that was the most daring, but that was quite, in today's standards, quite tame.
Oh yeah, because even though it was low cut, it wasn't like everything was hanging out. Nowadays, you know, I think one time Wendy Williams, she was, you know, talking about someone, and she said something to the effect that they were wearing their butt on their chest. And now we know Wendy has her own implant. And Wendy's like, what are you doing? You know, there's big and then there's ridiculous. So, you know, let's just try and calm it down and like have a little.
Well, you know, Wendy, how you doing, Wendy?
How you doing?
Well, you know, Wendy, I heard that she might be doing breast reduction. Did you hear about that?
Well, you know, at one point, pre-divorce from husband, she had said that if she ever got to a point that they were uncomfortable or, you know, she was done, that she would make the decision and she would get them done. Because of her condition, I think you and I remember we were saying something's kind of off with her a little bit. And I've been watching her, and the swelling, it used to be mostly in her legs. Now I'm noticing some days it's in her hands.
Really?
I mean, really, her hands look plump and they look, I mean, and Wendy, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I cannot stand that ring. Have you seen her ring? Remember she had the big stuff.
Which ring is it? The one she always has, this honking big ring?
Well, no, she had the honking big, her flower. She calls it her flower.
Yeah, the flower, but it's a fake one.
Right. So then she had her ring. She gave her stones and all of that from the real one and her wedding ring to her jeweler. And he made her a new circle. I mean, the circle's that big and it's on her finger. I mean, and it crosses 3 fingers. It's huge.
Oh, I'll have to go and look it out because I do record her and I have not seen her lately.
Yes, it's not a pretty ring for a woman with beautiful hands. She has real pretty hands. And when she had that big old rock from her husband on one hand, she had her lucky flower ring on the other hand. It was very pretty and very balanced. So now she has the one ring, and it's just too big.
Okay, I mean, well, I'll look at it and I'll comment next week what I thought of it.
Excellent. So you know what tomorrow is, right, Rosetta? What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is...
Say that again? anniversary.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that tomorrow is the 29th, and it is Kate and William's 10-year anniversary. Yes, I was for a minute, I'm like, what else am I missing?
Congratulations. I mean, it's hard to
10
make
years.
years. So 10.
I can't believe it. They have 3 kids, George, Charlotte, and Louis. Wow,
Yeah.
3 kids now. This
Yeah.
is amazing, amazing. And they still look good, and still waiting for Harry and William to make amends.
Yes. Apparently, when they were together for Prince Philip's service, there were times, Wendy called it that Kate was kind of orchestrating, because it would be William, Kate, and Harry. And then Kate would kind of slow down, and the guys would kind of get a little closer together. And then Kate would kind of weave back in. So, they say that they got to talk, and I hope that we will see more visual signs that all is well.
Yeah, because I really miss their sibling. How would you even call it? Their brothership?
Yeah, their brotherly.
Brotherlyhood.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
Well, some of you might not realize this. However, this year is the 50th anniversary of Sesame Street. I don't know any child that is on planet Earth that doesn't know about Sesame Street, that doesn't have a favorite character, whether it be Big Bird or Ernie, or, like my husband, he loves Oscar because he's the Cookie Monster. He loves Cookie Monster. So one of the things that I love about them, they just did a special on ABC. We'll put the link down below. And what they did is they showed the evolution of how the puppeteers always bring in what's going on in the environment. So right now there is a conversation. Is Bert and Ernie friends, deep, deep friends, or are they romantically inclined? So they're entering into that. There is a young lady, is she straight? Is she bi? What is she? They're bringing in all of these different views so that as our children watch them, maybe we can stop some of the negativity and the negative bullying around an individual's personal choice, and for everyone to just see them as a kind, sweet, loving individual. I was really surprised how, even I didn't know that, I think it was 2018, they introduced like a father and a son that were Black. And they, the son was like, well, what's the deal? We all look alike. And they had to talk about how his skin tone was just a little bit darker. And it's just so sweet and loving. And they had Chrissy Teigen and John Legend and their kids on, and they were talking about everything and how everyone is just the same on the inside. And it was just so beautiful, beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's, everyone watching, if you are a regular watching our chats, we always talk about how it stems from the family, the top down. And we really love it that Chrissy Teigen and her husband are doing this. And I think more families need to do that. It doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, it's who you are as a person on the inside. And kids, they're all born with a clean slate.
Yes.
Who starts writing on that slate?
Yes.
Teachers, parents,
yes,
mothers,
yes,
fathers. Well, they're
yes,
parents, obviously. I said parents, friends,
yeah,
friends, other siblings, other people, even your minister when you go to church. So everybody has an influence, and we need, as parents, to create that culture of treat everyone the same, no matter what they look like on the outside. Everybody wants to be loved. And I say, live your life with positivity and kindness. That's how I believe in it.
Yes, I completely agree 100%. So if you really want to have a special moment, just sit down and watch it. And even more important, if you have access to a child, watch the child watch it. They just love it. They don't
Wow.
care that
This is
Oscar's
great.
blue. They don't care if he's green or orange. They could care less because unlike you, they don't have those negative filters.
They
They
don't
see,
have the bias already.
yeah, very true. Very true. So remember Super Bowl 38 happened a few years ago. There was an incident where Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson were the halftime performers. And Justin reached over to pull away a piece of Janet's costume. Well, he was supposed to pull away the top layer. And when he pulled, the whole thing came off and it exposed one of her breasts. Now, Janet was ostracized. She couldn't get a job. She, nobody wanted to hire her because of the disgrace. Now, the thing that's really interesting is Janet didn't do this by herself. 2 weeks later, Justin was on stage performing at the Grammys where he won an award. And, you know, for years, people have thought that's not right. I mean, either you damn them both or you realize it was a mistake, an accident, and they both learned don't use that kind of tape or whatever they used on the costume, but you don't make it life altering like they did to Janet. So with all lives matter, there's now the conversation is coming back around. Does the NFL owe Janet Jackson an apology for attempting to ruin her life and her career?
I think that there needs to be some kind of, what do you call it? Rethinking of this and looking back. What is it? There's a term for that. I'm like blanking as to the term, but revisiting what happened, because you're right. Justin Timberlake continued as normal after 2 weeks. There was a bit of a scandal, and I'm thinking back and I'm like, yeah, Janet's ever since then, Janet Jackson hasn't done much. She really hasn't. You don't see her anywhere. She used to do like she used to come on TV. I don't know. I think that she got stripped of everything. No sponsorships.
Yeah.
She wasn't on TV. She wasn't cast for anything. I don't
Yeah.
even know where she went. You're right. Now come to think of it, you see Justin.
Yeah. Janet just disappeared.
Yeah, she just disappeared, and Justin is just as happy as normal, going about his day, and he's still in movies and he's still singing and doing stuff. And you see him being interviewed all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So double standard. So our question to you, women who are participating and checking us out, what do you think about that? You know, it was his fault, his hand, and yet she received 100% of the blame and the responsibility. Please comment below and let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your comments and what your thoughts are. And we want to know what's happening with all this, because we'd love to see more of Janet appear in different things.
Well, they said that, you know, because this is now a conversation point, that maybe Janet will come back around. I think she'd make a great judge on The Voice or American Idol. I mean, think about it. Because of that incident, she was no longer considered to be, you know, an individual that could nurture anyone.
Wow.
And that's why she ended up, when she left the United States and she got married and she had a baby. And then, you know, she still missed performing. She loves to perform. And so she came back, and initially she tried to do tours, and it wasn't the same.
Yeah, because Janet Jackson is a person, she's a very, very shy person.
Yes.
When she gets on stage, she completely changes. There are some singers that are so shy, but once they get on stage, that's their comfort zone. They love it, and it just brings the best of them when they're singing. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I do miss her. You're right. She's one talented lady.
Yes. So we'll keep an eye out, and good luck, Janet. It's time. It's time for them to apologize, because they were wrong. They really were. So, you know, Rosetta and I, we love music, and tomorrow is International Dance Day. So how are you going to kick it off? What kind of dancing are you going to do tomorrow?
What kind of dancing am I gonna do? Put on my good
That's
feel good music and dance to that. I always have some feel good music.
yes,
I'm not a dancer.
yes.
I don't do choreographed dancing, but I will be dancing to my feel good music. I have several on my playlist and I love them and they make me feel good every morning.
Good. I do the same thing. I am a Prince girl. I love him. I cannot believe that they transformed his home into, I know I'm making all the noises of people. I did the Luthur noise and I just did Prince. So they took his home, Paisley Park, and they turned it in sort of like a museum. And then they were going to open it up and let 2,700 people in instead of just opening it up all fully due to COVID. I cannot wait till COVID is over and things are up to normal. I want to go to Paisley Park.
So it's a bit like
I mean,
it's a
if
bit like
you could
Graceland.
not be having a yes, yes, you can't be having a bad day and hear a Prince song. You know, it makes you start dancing, and before you know it, you're like, hey, hey.
And that reminds me, in the Oscars, they did which movie? Did it get nominated? If it did it win? Remember? And then they did one with Prince. What was it? Purple Rain or
Yes,
something?
and it was really. I remember on a day when she answered it. That was the first time they cut the sound because she said something to the effect of, as a matter of fact, I don't think it was nominated, so therefore it didn't win. And then I think she said because that's beep beep, and I think it was the B word and ends with the SRIT. You know? Because like when he did Purple Rain, that movie was, and the soundtrack. Come on, people, come on. The Oscars has got to do better because we're talking about this, and I also just remembered when Eddie Murphy did The Clumps, and Janet Jackson was in the movie. That's why this all ties together. And Janet said that they would sit around the table and they had tennis balls hanging where the other individuals would sit. And Eddie would sit in one chair and they would do the lines. And then he would sit in the next chair. And she said it was her and him and tennis balls. That takes talent. I'm sorry, that man deserves an Oscar too. He deserved an Oscar for that. He deserved an Oscar for Dreamgirls when he was on stage and he drops his pants and then he's getting high. I mean, that just broke my heart. So come on, Oscars, come into the new arena. But I love music. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I'm going to wake up and kick it off with a dance.
Yay! Love it.
So here in California, we have a situation where some of our citizens are not as happy with the job that the governor is doing. I will admit that he's done some things, and I think to myself, why the hell are you doing that? And some things he inherited from the previous administration, and he just kind of let it go. And but when COVID hit, because we had all this money stockpiled for a light rail system that we've been waiting for 20 years. When COVID hit, he started pulling some of that money to help people, try and get people off the streets. So he's done some good things. And then one of his friends had a retirement party, and he went to the party, and he was told there were going to be 10 people there. Well, when he got there was like 20 to 30. And he had his mask on at first, and he said, but then after the third glass of wine, okay, 3, he said he made some not so smart decisions. There are people who want to recall our governor because they don't think he's done a good enough job with the handling of COVID. Unlike other people, I beg to differ with him. He's done better than a lot of people. There are people who think that because he went to the French Laundry and had dinner without a mask, without socially distancing, that is his one strike. I always thought even in a baseball game, you get 3 strikes. He's got 1, and everybody's ready to throw him out.
Well, I don't know. He's only had 1. What about our previous president? How many strikes did he have?
Exactly. And no one seemed to know anything or say anything about it.
Yeah.
So the first thing they did was by Thursday of this week, they have to review the signatures and make sure that they're all legit. Then we have 30 days where they're going to let everybody know over the next 30 days. If you put your name on the list before and now you like what's going on, you can take your name off. Then there will be 30 days to estimate the cost of if we were to do another re-election. And then there's going to be 30 days to review the cost estimates. Then there'll be the certification process. And then 60 to 80 days later, it would actually be an election. So that's the steps that have to occur. But where we're at right now is they've got enough signatures to say, we want a recall. So now they have to go through and do the certification and the verification and all of that.
Wow.
And I just think where we are right now, we're trying to get out of our homes and back to work and opening up our businesses. And, you know, no disrespect, I understand one of the persons I understand who wants to run against him right now is Caitlyn Jenner. And, you know, I just don't see her background running businesses, companies. Chris ran the family, as we all see. What is it? Kim is worth $1 billion by her little old self. So we know what Chris could do. Now, if this was Kris Jenner, we might have a different conversation, because we've seen what she took a disaster. A young man had a tape of her child, and she took that tape and she flipped it and turned it into what we all now know is the Kardashians. You cannot throw a rock and not hit something or someone who knows of them. So I don't know that much about Caitlyn, other than Caitlyn was Bruce Jenner and Caitlyn went through a change. And now Caitlyn wants to run California. What do you think about all of this, Rosetta?
Well, I don't know too much about him. I just know that he was an Olympian. That's all I know. That's it. And he caused a lot of heartache within the family, because I do watch Keeping Up with Kardashians, and he was actually in there for a while. He was always showing up, and I saw the hurt that he caused the family. And I don't really know. That's all I know about him. But I think that I don't know what qualifications he has, but really, I'm not going to vote. Well, I don't know. Say that. I don't want to say. I just.
Right. Well, you know, because we saw what happens when we don't vote. You know, that's how we got someone in the White House that didn't really care about all people. So we know we have to vote. I just hope it just dies before that. All those steps I just read to you, I'm hoping somewhere along the process, they're just going to go ding, invalid, not enough people.
Tedious. It's too tedious, all the steps.
It's
too many steps.
I want his focus on helping all of us get better, get our businesses going, get life. I mean, we all need this. We need it now. So that's what for. And that's
they can go through the process, but in the meantime, I think Gavin Newsom's just going to continue business as usual.
Yeah, because just to give you all a perspective, there's a little over 24 billion people. Yes, in California, because we are the third largest entity. That sometimes they even call us our own, country. That's how big we are. And we're talking about 1.6 million. Or was it, we are 24 million. I think we're 24 million citizens of California, and 1.6 is not happy and wants him recalled.
Right.
You can do that. That's a low percentage. So we'll keep you in tune, because it's always good to know what's going on with politics. So if you have someone in your state or your country, you can say, well, in California, this is what they did, and this is why they did it, and this is what Gloria and Rosetta said. So we want our governor focusing on our weather. Now, I have family who live, I have family in Atlanta, Georgia. I have family in all aspects of Louisiana, all aspects of Texas. And, whenever we have an opportunity to talk, they're always like, oh my God, it's raining. Oh my God, we have thunderstorms. We have a drought facing us. We just got out of drought conditions for 2 years. And then with all of us being home and all of this stuff with the pandemic, they're now saying that our reservoirs are drying up. And even more importantly, if we had gotten snow, a lot more snow, then the snowpack would also help because that backfills into the reservoirs. I'm not looking forward to it, Rosetta. I just got my grass sort of a light green, and I'm not looking forward to it going back to brown.
Yeah, we haven't had rain in a while. They said it was meant to rain on Sunday, 50% chance. I think it rained for like a minute there and then no more rain. And now we're back
Yeah.
to no rain and we don't see it in the forecast. And I don't know, I think we're going to have like a drought. So I
Yeah.
remember a few years ago, we did have a drought. That was terrible. I remember it was so sad going on those hikes and seeing where all the rivers and the lakes were all dried up and nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is. And I remember when we were experiencing the drought in Los Angeles, Southern California, their homes and their properties are too beautiful to have water tanks. So they don't capture any water, they suck our water. And we pay a higher premium than them. So it was not a pretty time for California. And I'm hoping, please God, please Mother Earth, send us rain, please.
We need it. I wouldn't even mind a whole week of rain just to.
I promise I won't complain.
Definitely won't complain.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have a little situation that we're just going to share with you. We don't have a lot of updates yet. We will keep you informed. Right now, the Supreme Court is reviewing how much protection the Second Amendment provides for an individual carrying a gun outside of the home. See, the Second Amendment is supposed to be to protect your home,
yes,
not guns all out willy-nilly all over the place. However, there are individuals who are applying for gun permits, and they're being turned down, and they're saying that the gun permits are, you know, it's against their freedom of the Second Amendment to protect themselves and to protect their families. If you're walking around the streets of New York, just as an example, if the Supreme Court comes back and says, yes, everybody can bear and carry arms, that would be a catastrophe. That would not be good, because as we all know, people love to profile people, and you could get profiled for being in the wrong area, not even doing anything wrong. So the Supreme Court justices, you have got to not look at this as a political issue. You have got to look at this as a human issue. You have got to see, we have got to do something about our police officers and helping them, because, you know, Rosetta, I was thinking, when I was a little girl growing up, we knew the police. Hello, Officer Johnson. Hello, Officer Lewis. And they knew us. I never heard of a single incident where anyone was ever shot, because they knew us. If you did something bad and you ran, they just went to your house, which was going to be even worse, because once you got home and your parents were told by the police what you did, you were in so much trouble. We were a true community. And I think that's one of the things, the officers don't know the people. So if someone says, you know, we have a situation, they go at the situation of it's serious, it's critical, instead of saying, oh my God, I wonder if Tommy had too many beers. You know what I mean? You know, it's more personal.
Yeah.
So I think the Supreme Court is going to have to slow down and take a pause. They can't just hit the gavel and say, everybody can carry a gun, because that's not going to be good.
I'm sure that there's lots of people waiting for that because they want to carry guns. There's going to be a ton of people wanting to do that. So I'm the same with you. That's not going to be good. So we'll have to wait and see what they decide on that. So I don't really have too much to say. All I know is it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Yes, I agree. On a lighter note, let me tell you something. I always tell people I am a R&B girl. I love music. I love country music. I love jazz. Jazz is an acquired taste because when I was younger, I was like, the what are those things, like saxophones
Saxophone.
and I'd be like, ooh, just like a bumblebee in my ear. My grandmother would say, just keep living, baby, just keep living. And now when I hear jazz, I can feel it. I know the expression of the first time I heard it. I know what the person is doing. So I'm all in. I love it. I could have been knocked over with a feather when they said that Snoop was going to be a mentor to the judges on this season of The Voice. I was like, why? He's a rapper. What does he know about music, Okay. Mea culpa, mea culpa, mea culpa. Snoop is the bomb diggity. I am so impressed with what he knows and how he's getting those people, those performers to become a performer, to not just be a singer, but to be a performer. I'm shocked.
He really is, in real essence, a true mentor, because he knows how to get them to get the feelings into the music so that people can understand where they're coming from. Like he will say, how would you feel when you were listening to that music? You want to portray that so that other people listening to you have that same feeling.
Yes.
So he's just, oh my goodness, I cannot believe how good he is. And I like it when he gets up and he does his little dances and he just he is a man of all trades. I'm telling you, he knows a lot. He knows jazz, he knows country, he knows rapping, he knows pop, he knows R&B. He is, I love him. And I wish he could be a mentor every single season. But as they say, it took 20 seasons for him to get on the show. So I don't know if this is the first and last season he'll ever do, but I want him to be on the show again.
I doubt it'll be the last, because I'm sure their ratings are going up because every time he's on there. And then, did you see Blake dancing?
Yes.
With Snoop jacket on?
Yes.
Oh my
Even
God.
if Blake of all people can be that into Snoop, how much effect that Snoop has on people, right?
Right.
Yes. So we will vote. If a vote comes to it, I'll give 2 thumbs up to continue to come on again as a mentor.
We love Snoop.
Yes, we do.
Oh, well, I think everywhere, all over the world, we are all in the midst of the COVID vaccines. And on a little personal note, Rosetta and I would like to send our thoughts and prayers to the country of India. In a single day, they had over 350,000 confirmations of positive COVID-19. The thing that I want everyone to understand is, if you look at this from a scientific, mathematical process, okay, so there are people who are not going to get the vaccine, okay? If you're not going to get the vaccine, can you at least be safe in your behavior? What I mean by that is, if you go outside, can you wear a mask? Can you social distance? Can you wash your hands? When a person says there is no, they don't even call it COVID, they call it coronavirus. There's no coronavirus. There's nothing. And it's a lie. And there is a gentleman that's on Fox News that did this whole thing about how it is child abuse, parents forcing children to wear masks. And if you see a person with a mask on, walk up to them and tell them to take it off, because it's making you uncomfortable, and it's your right for them to take their mask off. And I'm like, can you not see the people of India? Do you think that if they had the tools to save themselves, now that they see the gravity of this disease? Even here, we have lost 570,000 souls. You would think that everybody would be on board. They're not. There are people that are getting their vaccines, and the more people get their vaccines, the CDC came out and said, if you have both of your shots, you've done your 3 weeks, and you have a sort of like a community pod, a family, you don't have to wear your mask. They're also saying if you're out and about and say you're out on a trail by yourself and you're walking, you don't have to put your mask on. However, my suggestion is keep your mask with you, because if someone gets too close to you, you just put your mask on, continue on. When you're bypass that little pod of people or whatever, if you want to take it off, take it off. Do you people realize that we have not had a flu season? For the first time since the flu came out, we did not have a flu season. And it wasn't because of a vaccine. It was because people were stuck at home. And when we went out, wore a mask and we stayed apart.
Yes, yes, exactly. You're right. Thinking back, we did not have a flu season, even though I got the flu shot for the first time in 20 years.
Right. Just to be careful.
Right. Didn't go anywhere. We were all in lockdown. So how can we get the flu?
So we know that things can get better. The CDC has published their recommendations. We'll put the link down below just so you can check it out. Just please try and not be selfish. Try and not just think about yourself. Try and think about how you would feel if you caught this virus and you're anti-symptomatic and you give it to someone that you love and they die. Can you live with that? It's really sad how it has become a political situation. Rosetta, girlfriend, I heard that if you're a white male and a Republican, around the age of 40, you're not taking that damn vaccine because you don't need it. So once again, I always say to my girls, it's time. It's time for us to let the boys go home and play with their toys or whatever, and women to rule the world, because we would never do anything so unconscious when we have an opportunity to help people all over the world. We would never say, I'm not going to take it. And my husband, he's like, well, what if they say they're not going to take it, but then they do? They just don't tell nobody they took it.
Well, we won't know, will we? And that's very deceitful of them.
Yeah. And, yesterday I took my mom to get her first shot. And I was shocked, number one, the line, because I had to go inside, because I told my mom is 85. She could not stand out in the hot sun in these long lines all around the whole, a Marriott. I'm not talking about a little hotel, the Marriott. And so I was able to get a wheelchair and take her in. There were all kinds of people in there. And this was the first time I ever saw this. You had a choice. They had Moderna and they had Pfizer, and you could pick whichever vaccine you wanted. And I thought that's beautiful, because my mom all along, if she couldn't get the J&J because she only wanted one shot, she wanted Pfizer. So then they take and they give me the card for her. They give me a blank card. They stamp it that we were there for the first vaccine, but they don't write her name on it. So I'm like, what's to prevent somebody from taking this, buying the card stock and making their own fake cards? I don't think anybody should be allowed out of a facility with a card without their name being written on it.
Right, right. No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I don't even know why they gave it to you blank and saying write your own name on it. What's the point of that? Isn't that the whole point, to make it more legal? I mean, more compliant is to do it. And you're telling me it came from Kaiser, right?
Right.
Kaiser were the ones that were administering the vaccine, so they should have done it. For me, I did Kaiser, and they gave me the card with my name on it and the date, and then they had a sticker on it. So not sure why they did that. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. And this particular location, they not only were they doing Kaiser, but they were also, there was another person that was there, and she said she was with Valley Medical.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, maybe that's the problem, because it wasn't, like I'm with Sutter Medical System, and they had their way and their process of doing things. So I know they all have their different ways. However, they are going to have to figure out, CDC, how do you verify that people have had the vaccine? So I don't feel comfortable after seeing that, thinking if someone says, you know, like you get a little star and it says, I've been vaccinated, yay. Well, were you really, or did you just buy the card off the black market?
Yeah, how do we know? There's so many people that are doing that because that's just how they are. They want to try and one up on the system, right?
Right.
So how do we know? So have you had your vaccine yet?
I have.
Oh, when did you get that?
Friday the 23rd.
Oh, okay, and which one did you get? Moderna?
Moderna.
Moderna, and that was through where?
That was through Palo Alto Medical, Sutter Medical Center.
Oh,
And
okay, nice.
yeah, and that one was at the convention center, right across from Levi Stadium.
At the convention center. Oh, the convention center. Okay, so you know, my sister's the one that she's one of the doctors. They rotate doctors, and because she's part of Sutter Health, Palo Alto Medical Foundation, she will sometimes be assigned to manage that as the doctor, as
Yeah.
the on-call doctor in case anything happens medically. Nice.
The nice thing about it is they have everything there at the convention center. I saw an EKG machine. I
Yeah.
saw, you know, all kinds of medical apparatus, because I have an allergy. And so when I got my shot, they're like, we're going to watch you a little bit longer. And I'm like, I'm okay. And the only symptom I had was my arm felt like it was on fire. But that was it. It wasn't like, you know, and it was definitely from the shot. I didn't have pain or anything like that. It was just, my arm was so hot.
Oh, okay. Well, they say the first one, a lot of people don't have any reaction, just a sore arm. The
Right.
second one is when things happen.
Yeah. Yes. And that's when we all pray for grace. And it's like, please, I don't want any side effects.
But you want it. You want it because that means it's working for you. You do. And it will come and go very quickly.
Yeah. The other thing that one of the nurses shared with me is with the Moderna, and I think it's Pfizer too, it's not always immediate. She says it could be up to 2 weeks. She's like, so if you're going along and all of a sudden you're like, oh, why am I so tired? She said, that's just it. Sometimes it takes a little longer. But
oh, wow. No,
yeah.
I got tired the next day. I was okay that day. The next day I got tired, took a nap, and then I woke up with a throbbing headache, and I had that all day, and then kept trying to take a nap, and because usually when you take a nap and you wake up, sometimes it goes right, but
Right.
it didn't go, and then I had a final nap in the late afternoon, evening, woke up and it was gone, and that was it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I can't wait. Once you've had your second vaccine, what are we going to do? Are we going to get back together?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we are. We can't wait. We're going to just be like hooked together. And people are going, what's wrong with those two? Are they ever going to let go? No, we've been waiting 14, 15 months for this. No, we're going to be together.
We're going to start doing our chats together finally again. Oh, yes. I'm so excited. We just hold on a little bit longer.
Just a little bit longer. Well, and the president says if we're really, really careful by 4th of July, we should be able to get into those backyards and queue up those barbecues and have a great time.
And by June the 15th, they say there's going to be no more tears. So we're not going to have that orange, purple, red, whatever tears. No more tears by June the 15th.
I'm so excited. So ready. So ready.
I'm so ready. And I'm ready for 4th of July celebrations, because last year it was just so boring. And I was like, this is sad. We can't even celebrate. That was very sad.
It's been sad. The 4th of July was sad. Labor Day was sad. Easter was sad. I mean, it's time. We've been good. We're ready to celebrate.
Yep. Can't wait. Woo-hoo.
Yes. So we've got 2 Ellen stories we're going to share with you. The first one, there's a young girl. Her name is Daisha Taylor. She's only 17 years old, and she figured out how to take beets and, working with her own proprietary patent pending formula, she was able to somehow fix stitches so that should a person start to get an infection, the stitches will change color. so that you will be able to tell something's going on. So instead of the incision getting so bad and it's so horrible that you have to, have to go for emergency, you have to call 911. This is her new contribution. And
Wow.
she's from Iowa City, Iowa, which I thought was really cute. And Ellen was so impressed by her, and working with Shutterfly, she gave her $10,000 to help towards her career and
Very nice.
her, making sure that she can bring this technology all the way to the forefront.
Wow. Hopefully someone has seen that and can invest and take that technology to the next level, because we need that. That's really important.
Exactly.
It could be for any kind of, any stitch. You mean the stitches themselves will turn different color. So that could be used for a wide range of things, everything.
Yes. A lot of times, like when you have surgery, especially if they have to put a cast on, and if the cast stays white, that normally means no internal bleeding inside the cast. But if the cast starts to turn red, I had surgery once and my white cast started to turn, pink, and then it became reds. So that's really horrible, because then they have to cut the cast open to see what's going on. Could you imagine if this technology was so cool that the stitches would start to change color and they could take an X-ray and say, oh, you're blue, got to cut you open and see what's going on, or everything's still brown, it's looking good, see you in 2 weeks, and continue to heal.
That's kind of like a sense of relief having that.
Yes. So
wow,
Daisha,
that's great.
You're an amazing young woman. Amazing. And Rosetta, you also have an Ellen story for us.
Yes, I do. If you're watching, you may have heard of, or you may not have heard of, a man by the name of Jay Shetty. Has anyone heard of him? Yes, he is a former monk, and he is a New York's Times bestseller. He is amazing. He is so inspirational. He's a social media star, and he makes inspirational videos, and they go viral, and they have been watched. His inspiration videos have been watched over 1 billion times. Billion with a B.
B with a B.
So
wow.
His name is Jay Shetty, Shetty, and he has a book called Think Like a Monk. And you have to watch him, because I've been following him on Instagram, and these videos, I'm telling you, they all have some kind of meaning or motivation or some kind of inspiration. And then at the end of the videos, he will come on and he will discuss it and talk about it. So that's what I really, really love. It's not just about posting the videos and putting a little caption. He comes on. So for all of you that really want to watch someone that is really, really inspirational, go and check him out. And we'll put the link below, and you can tell us what you think, because I love just watching and listening to people that are so inspirational, because that really, I say, it inspires to motivate. And that's what I try and do, inspire to motivate. Inspire mean it gets you going and thinking you would like to do things like that, but motivate means action, doing it, really not just thinking about it, but taking the action to do it. So yes. And maybe we could show you one of these chats. Yeah. We'd love to. Yes.
Let's do that. Yeah. So in upcoming chats, we will show you in living color what she's talking about.
Yes, we will, because I love him. He's amazing. Yes, yes, well, yes.
Checking him out. I haven't heard of him before, and I'm going to check him out.
Yay, good. You'll love it. You'll love it.
Well, always at the closing of Ellen's show today and every day, she says, I feel the love in this room. I send it back to you. Go out and share it with the world. And the coolest thing is she's talking to monitors, and if she can feel the love through the monitors, just like we can feel your love for taking the time to listen to our conversations. And
we thank you so much.
Yes. And if there's anything you ever want to know, well, what does Gloria and Rosetta think about this? And, I wonder if Rosetta and Gloria would really want to talk about this. So let's throw it at them. So send it our way. We would love to talk about it.
We would love to. Anything. If we can give our opinions, our reviews on anything, let us know, because we'd love to. We'd love to do that. And because we're Silicon Valley Girls Chat over tea, we would love to, if you make tea, someone that does has a tea shop, we'd love to review it on a future chat. Not too much longer before we can be in person, right? So we can go visit your tea shop if you have a tea shop. Can't wait to do that. And, we really, because, me and Glory, we're all about trying to help other small businesses. And tea is what we love, and we would love to promote you. Why not? Help people, right? That's all we're doing, sharing. If something's good, we want to share. But we just want, so put it in the comments or connect with us, and we'll be happy to set something up. But thank you so much. We've had so much fun this week, talked about a lot of stuff. And we want you to remember, as always, to keep
smiling.
Take care, everyone. Have a fantastic week. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Take care. Till next time. Toodles.